this is a tour of my portable painting studio with me and Hero. So first off, we can go around the outside. We can go around here and around here. There's a lot to go over. To start with, we have our most valuable paintbrushes stored in the Moly webbing. That way they stay nice and undamaged. I don't want them to be, smushed or compressed. And also, by storing brushes out here, particularly this huge brush, a lot of the moisture that can be caught in the bristles won't be inside, causing any problems inside of the backpack for me later on. We then have in some of the pockets here, we have my paint scrapers. We have some more paint scrapers. We have one more paint scraper here, which just didn't really fit inside of there. So it goes. And let's see here. Around the other side, I just gave it a quick spin around. Around the other side here, we have a few tools. So, for instance, we have scissors, which, cutting up paper and stuff. We have a pen for marking. I'm going to add a pencil. And then we have pliers, just because a lot of the time when these bristles get loose, or when the paint brush heads get loose, you need to tighten them down onto the wooden handles. And that way everything stays nice and functional. So I'm going to give it a quick pause again so I can move around to a new zone. Here we have the side compartment. So normally this sort of fanny pack is stored under here, but for this particular occasion I'm going to be storing it on the side, in particular to transport these two bags. Inside of here are two hyper light and also hyper cheap transportable painting easels. They just have retractable nylon cord inside of the metal, almost like tent stakes. So you flip out the tripod, there's some clips, you can put your art down on it. I have two of these so that I can do it with a friend, which I plan on doing this weekend. Then in here we have just a bit more canvases. This whole thing, it's full of canvases, of course, naturally. And now we can move to a news part. So before we get to the main compartment, I think we can take a quick look inside of here. So in here we have another canvas. It's the exact same kind as that one. And then we also have my Fujifilm camera, and there's a bit of camera film in here as well. Just because if you're doing this sort of artistic thing, it might be nice to take some photos of it. It's, you get all the rainbow colors. It makes for some really nice photographs. And then in here, I believe we have, yes, we have a bunch of hand boards. So these are those little things that you use to make sure you can keep all of your paints. See if I can do this with one hand. Here we go. You can hold it with one hand and, you have your paints up and sectioned and organized. I've made a real mess of this. I should probably use some paint remover and clean it out, but I kind of like it with all of the mess and, wildness. So now I think we can move on to the main compartment. All right, here is our main compartment. So this is where all the real business is. Well, all of it's business, but this is where the heaviest parts of the business are. So in here we have some containers for water storage. We have a glass and a cup, and then I just used a cup here just to make sure that fragile glass isn't damaged at all, but I always use that to hold my paintbrushes and wet them off. We then have, I believe, 3 separate bags. You can see there's 3 kind of flower cloth packages in here. Each of these contains a huge variety of paints. I am making up my mind right now if I'm going to pull them out for the paint tour. I might. If not, this video might end a little early. Then we also have a few more canvases. I'm going to get some in about the same size, but much thinner. So right now you see that you can only hold 2 of these because they have the big wooden staples. The wood frame really helps keep it from warping because paint shrinks when it dries, but obviously it adds so much bulk. And then we also have 2 sketchbooks in here with paper for, you know, trying out ideas before you commit to your canvas. And then in the back here, we have a clipboard. And the clipboard, in addition to just being useful for working with the paper, it also provides a good solid backing to just for comfort while transporting this. Because this whole thing, you know, I don't know how much it weighs, but it's easily in the ballpark of 30 pounds or something. I'm not sure. It feels like a pack mule when you're carrying it around. So that is the tour of the pack itself. Alright, I gave in, but only partially, because I know that, well, I have a feeling you guys might enjoy seeing what's inside of all of this. We have one more over here, but we're not going to go into that one because it's not as neatly organized. So we can start with the painting brushes. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. I'm not sure. So here we go. We've got our painting brushes. You pull them out, and then very carefully and it's all organized from largest brushes to the absolute smallest brushes. And that way you have the selection of whatever you could possibly want to paint with here. So now we can get into this one because I think it's probably the most well organized of my painting containers. Oh my gosh, there's actually more paint that I forgot, isn't there? Oh, no, it is all in here. It is all in here. So, here I have this extra plastic bag that helps keep it nice and safe. We're gonna use some, we just gotta pull this off. Then, the similar deal, there's a big knotting situation. Let's see if we can get it to come apart. I had so much fun putting this together, so I really don't mind repacking it all, just because it was so much fun. And now inside, you can see all of the paints, which are organized by color, which I think is very pretty. And I think, you know, if you're going out on a date or if you're going out with a friend or something and you pull this out, then that's just a real wow kind of moment when you get to show off just this big rainbow bouquet of little creative festivities that you're going to get to create with. So in here we have a lot of apple barrel stuff, which is, I mean, apple barrel is kind of dog crap paint, but it gets the job done. Especially, I'm a big fan of this color here. Then we have these paints from Target, which I bought all of these here. I bought when I was in college. Almost all of this paint and almost all of these materials I have had for years. Just, I've never had them organized and accessible in a way like this. So, and then in here, we have some of the specialty colors. So we have, you know, some glitters, some pearlescents, metallics. You know, I always absolutely adore working with metallic paints. And that is the full tour of the portable painting studio. And I really hope you guys enjoyed that little update. I love you so much, and as always, I just hope you guys are doing really well, and that's all. I love you. Bye.